What's goody to? Excuse me, I done burped. Any and there's a lot going on. I'm a little so. This is significant, whatever I'm finna say. But what's goody to any and everybody who may be listening? Okay. Now I'm still hearing that transference, this transference of karma, and look, we're talking about this speckled eyed little girl, the one that I spit out when I was up in that quote sky, giving birth as the celestial body. The girl where I put the speck in her eye, the same girl who appeared as the girl wearing rags in the lifetime where I was the coven leader, the same one who drunk all of my motherfucking juices up out of that trinket and commenced to conjuring up all of these black orbs that she conjured up, which entered into my body, like all of my bodies, my mental, emotional, spiritual, ethereal, my bodies, and out in my energy field, my auric field, and things of this nature. With that speck, I put the speck there. I put that speck there in order for her to overcome that darkness, that urge that she was going to feel to do what she did. Okay, see, this is what was going to make her her. This is what was going to blossom her into a beauty, into her own goddess. Okay, but instead she wanted to drink the juices of mother. She wanted to drink the juices of the one that gave birth to her and the whole entire universe. Right? So we fast forward down. I ain't see her until we got down into the sacral where she was with my counterpart still. Orumula left with her at the time when she drunk my juices. Like I said, he didn't want the little girl. The bitch looked the mess. She wore rags. She wore rags, and that she had that speck in her eye. That at the time it was not attractive. But anyway, let's fast forward into this lifetime here where the bitch had the nerve to show up with Sharita, the two stooges. The two stooges. Okay. Had the nerve to show up in this lifetime as my sister. Okay. Right away, I first of all, let's talk about how I was in a government program while she was the most, for the most of the duration while she was pregnant. It wasn't until I got out of this government program that I really discovered that she was pregnant. She had a big, just stomach was big. Okay, so I pretty much missed the whole pregnancy. Now let's get into how I felt when them children came out of the they came out of her, but they were by a man that I witnessed beat her. This beating of Sharita occurred when I was about 1 or 2 years old. That was very traumatizing to see this man, Daryl Hatter, beating Sharita like that. And she had the nerve, Sharita had the nerve to look over at me. This wasn't out of, it's strange to think that, but she looked over at me to see if it just looked over, like to tease me or something like that. Because the reason why is because in the uppers in the body, men did not hit women because men could not hit women. Not like that. Because we had those protective fields. We had our energy fields that could protect us from the muscles. Things were balanced. Things fell out of balance once we got below the solar plexus. Once we got below the solar plexus, it was just out of whack. It was the masculine energy who gained more traction, but this was not the divine masculine energy that gained attraction. This was, uh, you could say toxic, but this was satanic. This was satanic masculine energy. Those that sought to control and dominate the women, to suppress and oppress them, to keep the secrets from them, uh, to have them locked outside of their body so they are not able to access their wisdom, to know their story. Okay. So let's get on this speckled out whore Danielle Doja of Raleigh, North Carolina. As a child, I was talking about the transference of this karma because, see, her karma actually followed her into this lifetime. This little girl could not catch a break, really, to save her life. When we first came, when they first of all, let's talk about how I did not want them on me. Like, strangely enough, when they were born, both they were twins, Danielle and Darrell. Okay, I didn't like them, and the reason I didn't like them is because I knew something. It was very subtle, but I had a feeling, and I knew. Also, the fact that their father beat. At the time, I thought of her as my mother. Viciously beat my mother, as well as beat me viciously, and as well as put a gun to her head right in front of me. I didn't like them children. And also we would be in the back seat of the car driving around, and I would be like in the middle of them, and they would fall asleep. Like, this was freakish that they did this almost every time that we got into the car. It was very freakish that they would fall asleep, and both of them would like lay on me, baby. Like that they would fall over and lay on me. I did not like that at all, and I always just to like nudge them and push them up off me with my shoulders. But it's like my ex-mother. It's like I think she used to say something to me about that. It's like I was forced to let them lay on my motherfucking shoulders, or as they slept, and ooh. So anyway, let's get, like, this little girl. Like I said, the karma followed her, and I'm hearing something about this transference. Okay, the karma followed her, and I seen the karma. Okay, especially when we were little, and I'm picking, like, this is like McMakin Street. We were living on McMakin Street, especially. One of the first things that I realized was that one of the first things that happened was that we were all out playing in the neighborhood. We were little kids, you know what I'm saying? And there was just like this water spout, like in the back of the apartments that you just turn on. She turned that water spout on, but it was scorching hot. It was steaming and scorching hot, and it landed right on her foot. On her right foot. I think it was her right foot that this landed on. Okay. What wound up happening was that spot developed a blister, real painful, large blister right on her foot. That was the first thing I noticed. That karma that followed her. That was painful, baby. Okay. Okay, as well, the same neighborhood. It's like they did not like her. At the time, I didn't understand why, and I had sympathy for the girl. I had sympathy for the little girl at that time, but the girls, all of the girls in the neighborhood, and I'm gonna say the names: Keandra, Erica, Ashaya. All of the girls in that neighborhood that we lived in did not like Danielle, and they used to gang up on her. And I really did feel sorry for her. Like, I felt sorry for the little girl. And that's because I didn't really understand. I didn't really know what was going on, and that was this karma that was following her. Until she did that motherfucking until whoever did that transference and transferred that karma. Okay. The next thing. So the girls, none of the girls liked her. Let's talk about this dentist that we went to. There was one day that we went to a dentist. Here we go with that motherfucking dentist van coming to pick up the children when the mammy should have been with the children at the dentist. Not up some man butt crack like Sharita be up a man butt crack at all times. Okay, and be mad, taking her anger out on her children because of a man. Okay. So we went to this dentist. The van came to pick us up. And there was this girl there. She's a lesbian. Her name was Rita. Quite ironically, her name was Rita. And here we go again with them getting into these battles. People not liking them. I'm talking about both of them. People just didn't like them. And I felt real sorry. I felt a little bad for them. Like, I really had pity at that time because, again, I was a child and I did not know what was going on at that time. I was a little older than them. I'm about 3 or 4 years older than them. Okay? But here we go. I wound up getting into a fight with the lesbian, and she was a strong lesbian, too. A stud. I wound up getting into a fight with her at the dentist office. I beat her. but she was strong. And she could have got me. But the only reason I fought the girl was because of them two. Okay? So let's go ahead and fast forward to the neighborhood Cinnamon Ridge. Okay? In this neighborhood, Cinnamon Ridge, things started to get better for them a little bit, I would suppose, but there was this incident that happened where some type of football, I forgot what exactly happened, but we were playing football outside in the street, okay, and Danielle had some sort of unfortunate accident where she hit her eye on the cement, and that thing swelled up very huge, and she was looking crazy like a I don't know why I saw this, but I was seeing the moon. I was seeing like the shape. It looked like the moon. The way her eye swelled up, that eye was swelled up for weeks and looked like it was in pain. I really did feel sorry for the girl. Okay. So we also got to get into this witchcraft. Let's get into the witchcraft because at this time, you know, of course, I've always been into the mystical arts. I've always been into, you know, the occult, the unknown. And I had at the time I had this book, this Wiccan book, and we were see, this is a lot. We had this I had ordered this book, this Wicca book. And we were around that house doing spells, me, Danielle, and Darrell. But even Sharita, that I helped Sharita do this spell on Po Boy. But we're going to say that. We're going to talk about that later. Okay? I feel like that's where a lot of this is coming from. So, Sharita know about it. All of a sudden, she in there trying to light a candle without anybody's supervision, done burnt her hair on fire. Burnt her hair up. That's that karma. That was that karma following her. The bitch ain't never know what she was doing. She ain't never know what she was doing. The stupidity. It was always the stupidity for me. With her. That stupidity followed her. That I could see in her eye. And Woo! Okay. So Sharita had to know to get mad at me though. Sharita came at me because she burnt her hair up. Okay. What else? So after that, things would seem to get better for her. As she grew up, she became the motherfucking golden child. Sharita worshipped her. Like I said, they was the two stooges. The two motherfucking stooges. Danielle stupid, and Sharita was even more stupider. Thinking they could play with me. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.